Hello everyone, welcome back to Brian's Mysteries and Adventures on Trail. I hope everyone is doing well and having a good weekend or whenever you happen to watch this video. Before we begin, I'd ask if you please consider subscribing. It's free, it really helps out the channel a lot. Today we're going to be discussing a very sad recent case, disappearance that occurred on January 4th of this year, 2025. Many of you have written in and asked me to cover this case. Although she did not go missing in a hiking environment, this case really touched me. Today's case takes us to the small town of Fayetteville, North Carolina here in the United States. It's got a population of just under 210,000. I'm going to have various maps to show you. It is located in the central eastern part of North Carolina. Unfortunately, this is one of several very sad and tragic cases that have occurred in this part of North Carolina just this year. Despite being such a small area, Fayetteville does have a relatively high crime rate. I'm going to go over a little bit more of that later. When you look at some of the pictures of the town, it looks like a small, quaint town. Unfortunately, like I said, it does have a statistically high crime rate. I'm going to have some maps and more information on that, like I said. Today we're going to be talking about the disappearance of Heather Williams. Heather is a 25-year-old female who was born and raised in Fayetteville. She disappeared on Saturday, January 4th around 10 p.m. when she was last seen on her family's Ring doorbell camera footage. According to her friends and family, Heather was known for her beautiful green eyes, her very contagious laugh, her beautiful smile. She always brought joy to everyone around her. She loved her family, her friends. She was very strong in her faith. Her family said that she also loved kids and would always do her best to make them laugh or cheer them up. She also loved dogs and was always trying to rescue any dog she could. In 2015, while Heather was attending Cape Fear High School, she was hit by a car and suffered very serious injuries. After this accident, Heather suffered with certain cognitive impairments. She had somewhat of a limited vocabulary. She did walk with a slight limp, but despite this, her sister, her friends, her family said that it never downed her spirits. Heather kept strong with her faith. She was always working very hard to overcome these impairments. She loved to sing. She wanted to be like any other 25-year-old and just go out, be happy, spend time with her friends and family. Heather did have limited use of both her right arm and right leg after the accident. She never let this get her down. She loved life. She loved going out. She loved spreading joy. Look at how happy she is in this picture. All her pictures, she just looks so beautiful and so happy. Her family did, however, worry about her because she tended to be too trusting of people. Anyone, strangers, anyone that she met, especially if she met people online, the family would worry about her. On January 4th of this year, 2025, Heather was seen on the family's surveillance video on Berkshire Road, pictured here, leaving the house at roughly 9:52 p.m. The surveillance footage captured Heather walking out the front door, then down the path to their driveway, then down to Berkshire Road to this gray-colored sedan that was parked with its headlights on. In the footage, you can see that it's a four-door car. It has a moonroof. Unfortunately, you can't see any license plates or anything like that. Heather is last seen getting into the vehicle. The vehicle is then seen leaving the area heading north on Berkshire Road. The family became very concerned when Heather failed to return that evening. They immediately reported her missing to the Fayetteville Police Department. This is a picture of the road in the daylight. That's the direction that the car was heading. Here's a map just to give you an idea of the road. The red dot indicates the exact location where Heather was last seen leaving in that gray sedan. After the family had filed the police report, they started their own investigation. Heather's mother was able to get their Verizon phone records and look at who Heather was in contact for the last 24 hours. Her sister, Mary Williams, then noticed an unknown number that Heather had called. It was in fact her last call that lasted 3 minutes. She then called this unknown number. A man answered. She told her who she was. She said that they haven't seen Heather. She then asked the man if he had seen Heather or if he had picked her up the night before. He said that he had met her on Facebook. He had seen Heather, but he couldn't remember exactly which night it was. Mary Williams, of course, found this odd, as anyone would. She then sent him the video footage of Heather getting into this vehicle. The man then did admit that it was him that picked her up, but he couldn't answer any of her follow-up questions. So Mary continued to ask him, "What did you guys do? Where did you guys go?" All the man would say was, "Oh, she just kept wanting to go to someone else's house, so I just ended up dropping her off at somebody else's house and left." As it would to most people, this sounded absurd to Mary. Unfortunately, she couldn't get any other information out of him aside the fact that he admitted to him being the one that picked her up the Saturday night in question. The family, of course, shared all their information with the detectives of the Fayetteville Police Department, whom on their own were conducting their investigation. On January 10th, 6 days after Heather disappeared, a body was found in a very wooded area adjacent to this clearing on the corner of Newark and State Avenue. These are pictures and maps of that area, which is in the northwestern part of the city. Tragically, the body was positively identified as that of Heather Williams. She was found only a couple of miles away from her home on Berkshire Road, roughly a 12-minute drive. The family, of course, was devastated, and they highly suspected this man that had picked her up that night. At first, during the conversation with Heather's sister Mary, he lied and said that he had picked her up in a red SUV. The man lied and said that he was borrowing a friend's vehicle. Nevertheless, the police were able to get a search warrant for this vehicle. After having searched the vehicle on January 9th, it is believed that they had found evidence which led to them finding Heather's body on January 10th. The police were then able to get an arrest warrant for 30-year-old Tyrell Sermons. Sermons had just been released from doing a 5-year prison sentence. He had pleaded guilty in 2016 for first-degree kidnapping, assault with a deadly weapon, possession of a firearm by a felon, and many other felony counts. He was arrested and charged with the first-degree murder of Heather Williams. He was denied bond in court. He's expected to be back in court next month sometime. He is currently being held in the Cumberland County Detention Center without bond. The police stated that although they have their suspect in custody, the investigation is active and ongoing. If there's anyone out there with any information regarding this case, to contact Detective E. Alfari at 910-723-0327, or you can call Crime Stoppers. Of course, I'll have all that information in the description. I wanted to make this video in honor of Heather Williams. She seemed like such an amazing person to have gone through such a horrific accident and lost certain functions, but kept on going with such a positive attitude and bringing happiness and joy to so many people around her. I just can't imagine why this happened to her, and furthermore, I don't understand how a lunatic like this man was let out of prison with as many felonies and violent crimes as he did have. I mentioned the abnormally high crime in Fayetteville in comparison to its population. Here's a map of the crime rate and then its rate as in comparison to the rest of the United States. If you look at this map, this is per 1,000 residents. The green bar on the left is Fayetteville, which you can see is way above the national median, which is at 4. Fayetteville is at 8.76, whereas the whole state of North Carolina is just under the national median at 3.91. Heather's family said the Fayetteville Police Department were wonderful. They worked very hard on the case. I just hope that by sharing her story with more people, they'll get help from their senators and government, because obviously there's a high concentration of crime in that area and it takes a community to change. I just hope and pray that something positive may come out of this terrible tragedy. I want to dedicate this video to Heather Marie Williams, her sister, her family, her friends, all her loved ones, everyone who knew and loved her. I am so sorry for your loss, and I hope and pray that you live with only the cherished memories of your beloved Heather. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for all your support, your comments, your feedback. You know I love hearing from you, so please leave me a comment if you can. Special thank you to co.ag for providing the background music. Hopefully I'll see you all in the next one. Take care. Hey everyone, thanks for sticking with me to the end. I really appreciate it. I am still working on all the videos that you have sent to me. I'm trying to do them in order. As you know, if you've been following my channel for a while, if recent cases come up, I always give those precedent, so please be patient with me. I'm sorry for the slight delay in the upload schedule. My chronic Lyme's has been flaring up a little bit and it's been very busy at work. I appreciate you all being patient and sticking with me. If you have any video or case suggestions, please leave me a comment or you can email me. My email is in all of my videos, including this one. As far as leaving me comments, you know I love hearing from you. If I don't respond to your comment, please don't take it personally. I try and read as many as I can. I do appreciate every comment, all your support, everyone who subscribes and watches. I can't tell you and thank you enough for watching and your support. I'd love to hear about any outdoor or adventures you have coming up in 2025. All right, everyone. See you in the next one.